The Bakumatsu period, marking the end of the samurai era in Japan, was a tumultuous time filled with political intrigue, social upheaval, and significant historical events. During the mid-19th century, Japan was under the rule of the Tokugawa shogunate, a feudal military government that had been in power for over 2.5 centuries. However, by the 1850s, the shogunate's grip on power was weakening, and internal conflicts were brewing. The arrival of Commodore Matthew Perry and his fleet of American warships in 1853 further exacerbated the situation. Perry's demands for the opening of Japan to foreign trade and diplomatic relations challenged the isolationist policies that had been in place for centuries. This event marked the beginning of increased foreign influence in Japan and set the stage for the downfall of the shogunate. The Bakumatsu period culminated in the Boshin War and the Meiji Restoration, which saw the end of the shogunate and the restoration of imperial rule under Emperor Meiji. The impact of the Bakumatsu period on the samurai class was profound. The traditional social hierarchy that had defined samurai society for centuries was dismantled, and many samurai found themselves struggling to adapt to the rapid modernization and westernization of Japan. The legacy of the Bakumatsu period continues to shape Japan's history and culture to this day, serving as a reminder of the challenges and transformations that accompanied the end of the samurai era. The Bakumatsu period was a time of significant upheaval in Japan, characterized by a complex web of causes that ultimately led to the end of the samurai era. One of the key factors contributing to the turmoil of the Bakumatsu was the internal conflicts within the ruling Tokugawa shogunate. Factional disputes and power struggles weakened the shogunate's authority and paved the way for external influences to gain a foothold in Japan. The arrival of Commodore Matthew Perry and his demands for the opening of Japan to foreign trade further exacerbated the situation, challenging the long-standing isolationist policies of the shogunate. This marked a turning point in Japan's relationship with the outside world and set the stage for the eventual downfall of the shogunate. Interestingly, statistics show that during the Bakumatsu period, the number of foreign ships entering Japanese waters increased significantly, highlighting the growing pressure on the shogunate to adapt to the changing global landscape. Additionally, the rise of nationalist movements and the emergence of pro-imperial loyalists added fuel to the fire, as different factions vied for power and influence. These internal and external pressures created a volatile environment that ultimately culminated in the Boshin War and the Meiji Restoration. The intricate web of causes behind the Bakumatsu period serves as a reminder of the complex interplay of political, social, and economic factors that shaped this pivotal moment in Japanese history. Commodore Matthew Perry played a pivotal role in the events leading up to the Bakumatsu period in Japan. In 1853, Perry arrived in Japan with a fleet of American warships, demanding the opening of Japanese ports to foreign trade. This marked a significant turning point in Japan's history, as it challenged the isolationist policies that had been in place for centuries. Perry's arrival and demands put pressure on the Tokugawa shogunate, further weakening their authority and paving the way for internal conflicts and power struggles. Interestingly, Perry's fleet consisted of 4 ships, including the USS Mississippi and the USS Susquehanna, showcasing the military might of the United States. The negotiations between Perry and the Japanese officials led to the signing of the Convention of Kanagawa in 1854, which opened the ports of Shimoda and Hakodate to American ships for refueling and provisions. This agreement laid the groundwork for future treaties that would further open Japan to foreign influence. Perry's role in forcing Japan to open up to the world had far-reaching consequences, ultimately contributing to the downfall of the Tokugawa shogunate and the end of the samurai era. His actions set in motion a series of events that would shape Japan's modernization and transformation in the years to come. Perry's arrival and the subsequent events of the Bakumatsu period marked a significant shift in Japan's relations with the outside world, highlighting the impact of foreign intervention on the country's political and social landscape. The Bakumatsu period in Japan was marked by internal conflicts that played a significant role in shaping the course of history. Loyalties were divided between loyalists supporting the emperor and the official shogunate government backed by the Shinsengumi. The intricate web of alliances and rivalries added a layer of complexity to the already volatile political landscape of the time. Interestingly, the Shinsengumi, led by figures such as Vice Captain Hijikata Toshizo and Captain Kondo Isami, played a central role in upholding the shogunate's authority amidst growing dissent. These internal conflicts within the ruling factions further weakened the shogunate's grip on power and set the stage for the events that would unfold during the Bakumatsu period. The Shinsengumi, known for their strict code of conduct and fierce loyalty to the shogunate, became emblematic of the internal struggles that defined this era. In contrast, figures like Okita Soji, an officer in the Shinsengumi, embodied the internal turmoil faced by many samurai torn between tradition and the winds of change. The dynamics within the Shinsengumi, with characters like Saito Hajime and Yamazaki Susumu, showcased the diversity of perspectives and motivations within the faction. These internal conflicts were not limited to the Shinsengumi alone, as various other factions and individuals also vied for power and influence during this tumultuous period. The complexity of these internal conflicts is reflected in the diverse array of historical figures and personalities that emerged as key players in the political drama of the Bakumatsu. The internal strife and power struggles within the ruling factions added a layer of intrigue and unpredictability to the unfolding events, shaping the course of Japanese history in profound ways. The internal conflicts of the Bakumatsu period serve as a reminder of the intricate dynamics at play during this transformative era, highlighting the complexities of loyalty, honor, and political allegiance that define the samurai ethos of the time. Foreign influence played a crucial role in shaping the events of the Bakumatsu period in Japan. The arrival of Commodore Matthew Perry and his demands for the opening of Japanese ports to foreign trade marked a significant shift in Japan's relationship with the outside world. Perry's fleet of American warships, including the USS Mississippi and the USS Susquehanna, showcased the military might of the United States and put pressure on the Tokugawa shogunate to adapt to the changing global landscape. Statistics show that during the Bakumatsu period, the number of foreign ships entering Japanese waters increased significantly, highlighting the growing foreign presence in Japan. This influx of foreign influence challenged the long-standing isolationist policies of the shogunate and set the stage for internal conflicts and power struggles. The negotiations between Perry and Japanese officials led to the signing of the Convention of Kanagawa in 1854, which opened the ports of Shimoda and Hakodate to American ships for refueling and provisions. This agreement laid the groundwork for future treaties that further opened Japan to foreign trade and diplomatic relations. The impact of foreign influence during the Bakumatsu period was profound, ultimately contributing to the downfall of the shogunate and the end of the samurai era. The complexities of navigating foreign relations and the challenges of adapting to a rapidly changing global landscape shaped the course of Japanese history during this transformative period. The fall of the Tokugawa shogunate marked a significant turning point in Japanese history, signaling the end of centuries of feudal rule and the beginning of a new era of modernization and transformation. The internal conflicts and external pressures that had been building during the Bakumatsu period finally came to a head, leading to the shogunate's downfall. Interesting details and facts surrounding the fall of the shogunate include the Boshin War, a civil war fought between the forces loyal to the shogunate and those supporting the imperial restoration. The Battle of Toba Fushimi in 1868, where imperial forces emerged victorious, was a decisive moment in the shogunate's defeat. The numbers and statistics from this period are telling. The shogunate's forces faced significant challenges, with estimates indicating that they were outnumbered by the imperial forces. The fall of the shogunate also saw the end of the samurai era, as the traditional social hierarchy and power structures were dismantled in the wake of the Meiji Restoration. The legacy of the shogunate's fall continues to shape Japan's history and culture, serving as a reminder of the turbulent transition from feudalism to modernity. The fall of the shogunate was a complex and multifaceted event, influenced by a combination of internal conflicts, external pressures, and shifting alliances. The impact of the shogunate's fall reverberated throughout Japan, setting the stage for the rapid modernization and westernization that would follow in the Meiji era. The fall of the shogunate marked the end of an era, but also the beginning of a new chapter in Japan's history, characterized by innovation, change, and adaptation to the challenges of a rapidly evolving world. The Meiji Restoration marked a pivotal moment in Japanese history, ushering in a period of rapid modernization and transformation. Following the fall of the Tokugawa shogunate, the Meiji era saw the restoration of imperial rule under Emperor Meiji, signaling the end of centuries of feudal governance. Interesting details and facts surrounding the Meiji Restoration include the abolition of the feudal system and the establishment of a centralized government based on Western models. The Charter Oath of 1868, a 5-point document outlining the principles of the new government, emphasized the pursuit of knowledge and the promotion of modernization. The Meiji government embarked on a series of reforms aimed at modernizing Japan's economy, military, and social structures. Notable statistics from this period include the rapid industrialization of Japan, with the number of factories and industrial output increasing significantly. The construction of railways and telegraph lines further connected different regions of the country, facilitating communication and trade. The Meiji Restoration also saw the establishment of a modern educational system, with the number of schools and literacy rates rising steadily. The transformation of Japan into a modern nation-state was accompanied by social and cultural changes, as traditional practices and customs gave way to Western influences. The Meiji era witnessed the emergence of a new class of industrialists and entrepreneurs, driving Japan's economic growth and technological advancement. The government's efforts to centralize power and promote nationalism laid the foundation for Japan's emergence as a major world power in the 20th century. The legacy of the Meiji Restoration continues to shape Japan's identity and development, serving as a testament to the country's ability to adapt and thrive in the face of rapid change. The impact of the Bakumatsu period on the samurai class was profound, leading to significant changes in their social status, roles, and way of life. As the traditional feudal system crumbled and the shogunate fell, many samurai found themselves grappling with a new reality. Interesting details and facts reveal that the number of samurai decreased significantly during this period, as many struggled to adapt to the rapid modernization and westernization of Japan. Statistics show that the Meiji government's policies, such as the ban on wearing swords in public, further marginalized the samurai class, stripping them of their traditional symbols of status and power. The samurai, once revered as the warrior elite of Japanese society, faced challenges in finding their place in a rapidly changing world. Many samurai turned to new professions and careers, while others resisted the changes, clinging to their traditional values and way of life. The impact of the Bakumatsu period on the samurai class was not just economic and social, but also cultural and psychological. The loss of their privileged status and the erosion of their traditional values left many samurai disillusioned and adrift. The legacy of the samurai, once synonymous with honor, loyalty, and martial prowess, was forever altered by the events of the Bakumatsu period. The transformation of Japan into a modern nation-state meant the end of an era for the samurai, forcing them to adapt to a new reality or risk fading into obscurity. The impact of the Bakumatsu period on the samurai class serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges and sacrifices faced by those caught in the tide of history. The legacy of the Bakumatsu period continues to resonate in Japan's history and culture, serving as a reminder of the turbulent transition from feudalism to modernity. Interesting details and facts reveal that the Bakumatsu era saw the decline of the samurai class, once revered as the warrior elite of Japanese society. Many samurai struggled to adapt to the rapid changes brought about by the Meiji Restoration, leading to a significant decrease in their numbers. Statistics show that the traditional values and customs of the samurai were challenged and transformed during this period, as they navigated the shifting social and political landscape. The legacy of the Bakumatsu period on the samurai class serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges and transformations faced by this once powerful warrior caste. The legacy of the Bakumatsu period continues to resonate in Japan's history and culture, serving as a reminder of the turbulent transition from feudalism to modernity. Critics of the anime adaptation of the era note the lack of originality and a somewhat lackluster plot development. Some reviewers highlight the absence of exposition, making it challenging for viewers unfamiliar with the historical figures on which the characters are based to understand their relationships, which are already firmly established at the beginning of the series. Others praise the gradual introduction of characters and world-building information, rather than overwhelming the audience all at once.